This is fucking ridiculous. Look at how quick that goddamn gun shoot. Absolutely madness. What's up everyone, it's HK Gaming. Today I have for you another crazy build. When DLC 3 released, there's a new gun called Stab-O-Matic. I'm sure you guys have seen it online already, how crazy this gun is. So let's start off with the skill. This time we're using the Spellshot with the Stabbomancer. We'll be using the double spell. Magic bullets, of course, increasing the spell damage, and then I put point on spell critical hit chance here. But if you want, you can put on spell cooldown rate or action skill cooldown too. It doesn't really matter, since you won't be reloading a lot. So this is pretty useless. So I'm not putting point here. I'm putting point on this two only because I want to get the high frag count. And then I will be putting on the just warming up with the fire rate, and then I have the mage armor to have a better survivability, and then of course, just like I said, the high frag count. And then for the Stab-O-Macer, I'm putting on potent poison for status effects damage, and then a signal for melee damage, spell damage, and gun damage. And then I have the nimble fingers. The good thing about the Stab-O-Matic is that it can proc the nimble fingers, so we are doing melee damage with Stab-O-Matic. So every time we shoot, we get a fire rate and spell damage increase. And then just like I said, melee and spell damage here, status effects, and then the status effects will increase our damage. And then sneak attack increase our critical hit damage. And then I put 5 points on the 1000 cuts. Our critical hits will increase our damage deal for duration. And then I have the chemical agent for melee critical hits applies a random status effect. Just like I said, Stab-O-Matic is doing a melee damage, so it could proc the chemical agent. And then I was trying to get the Executioner's Blade, but after I tested, since this is doing a melee damage, it doesn't proc the blade, so this is pretty useless. So I put my last point on contagion. Otherwise I don't have anywhere else to put the points, so yeah. And then let's look at the hero stats. I'm maxing out the critical hit damage, of course, and then I'm maxing out the HP and ward for better survivability. And then the rest of the point you can either put it on status damage or the spell cooldown. I prefer status damage, since the build that we are using, we don't really need that spell cooldown. And then for mid-range, just nothing to talk about, everyone is the same. And then for the items, I'm using the Spell Blade as our melee weapon. This is the most important point. The Stab-O-Matic that we're using will do the melee damage depending on which weapon that we're using. It will proc the effects. So having the spell blade here can perfectly line up with the skills like a signal here, nimble fingers here, and then contagious and other things like this. So that's why we're using this. There are other options I have in mind, but after I've tested a couple other builds, I still find the spell blades to be the best. But that doesn't mean that you can't use other melee weapon, but this is the best choice. And then for the gun, of course, we're using the Stab-O-Matic. And then for the spell blade, the most important point is after getting a melee kill, it refreshes one spell charge. So what this will do is that when we kill using the Stab-O-Matic, now it also refreshes our spell. So that's pretty crazy. I was thinking about messing around with the melee kill refreshes the spell charge with other spells, but with this build, the spell does not do enough damage. So for now, I'm still using the buff master. If I come up with anything else, I will be posting that. And then for the guns, after getting a gun kill, gives you 20% extra melee damage and 30% movement speed for 5 seconds. And then for the rest of the gun, I just put it here. I don't really use it, but I guess some of you might need these guns, so I just have it here. If you're looking for some guns, you can download the save and get this gun. And then for the rings, I'm putting the spell damage with melee critical hit chance and melee critical hit damage. And then while war is full, effects are increased by 66%. The only problem with the ring is that we cannot use spell critical hit chance or spell critical hit damage that will not apply to the Stab-O-Matic. So that's why we will need a ring with spell damage, which will increase our damage, but we'll also need that melee critical hit chance to actually get a bonus on the Stab-O-Matic. And then for the ward, I just put whatever ward that has the most capacity. And then on spellcast, increase damage dealt by 15%. And then for the armor, I have the one with Stab-O-Mancer power, Spellshot power. All damage deals spell damage and fire rate, just like I have shown in the video. It goes pretty crazy with the fire rate on the Stab-O-Matic with Buffmaster. So yeah, and melee damage and ability damage increased by 35% of your increased spell damage. And then gun damage and spell shot power. Gun damage doesn't really do anything here, but it's the only stat that it will appears on here. And we need that whenever you do melee damage, you have a 30% chance to instantly reload 100% of your current equipped gun's ammo. So that's the main reason why we are using this. But the gun damage itself doesn't do anything. And then for the skills, both of them are Buffmaster, and then one I'm using the on spellcast increase melee damage by 30%. So it will get an increase of damage, of course. And then I have 2 spell charges just in case. And then Peel and Sap to increase the handling and fire rate, I believe. And then Sap is the spell power. And then Bong and Sap on this one, which give you melee damage and spell damage. And then 2 spell charges as well. So basically whenever we kill, we get 1 spell charges on this too. So this is almost like a passive for us when we are mopping or anything other than the bosses. The problem with Stab-O-Matic with the spell shot is that you don't really reload if you're using this. It's quite difficult for you to set up the passive here because you have to reload or cast a spell. So what we are doing is that we're continuing using a spell and then kill, refresh our charges, and then use a spell to stack up the passive for spell shot. And then I think that's it for the build. I have another build that includes some of the DLC items. I still need some more time to farm it. If I finish the other build, I will be posting it as soon as possible. That's it for today's video. I'll leave the combat footage at the end. Don't forget to hit subscribe, that will really help me to keep my channel running. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you have a better idea too. Please do leave a like if you enjoy this build or this video. And please do enjoy the combat footage as well. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Grey Goose and ice cubes. Type of drink that'll put me in the right mood. 80 proof gonna lower my IQ. And I've been the same way since high school. I look shorty right in her brown eyes. She about to